Question about. Oh.
Gentlemen. Hello. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got at least one freshly minted referee, or I guess re-minted bull.
Oh, great.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, and
Hey there.
welcome back or welcome.
Help me out, bull. Where were you a referee before?
In North Carolina. Back in 2012 and 2013.
Ah, well,
So I took a little bit of a break when I came back here and, couldn't stay away.
had to acclimate.
Yeah.
Just the altitude.
Awfully quiet.
Have you gone skiing yet?
Truth or lie?
What did you say?
Truth or lie?
Oh, I prefer the truth.
No, I have not. It's been my work-life balance is completely messed up right now. Let's put it that way. I was gonna go, but then I decided to go hang out with a bunch of people learning to be referees on a Sunday. Have you?
No, I'm planning on Saturday.
So what's your freaking excuse?
Let's see.
See?
What was it? This past Saturday did some games over in St. Louis.
Bad choice.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah. And then had to recover from that. I didn't get back until 11 and I left my house at 4.
There's really only one correct answer to that, Joe, and it was that you're making poor life decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty well lost to get anything near Forest Park.
Yeah.
Hey man, Joe, you may not know this, but I played my formative years in St. Louis. I remember dodging the manholes on the pitches of Forest Park. It was quite fun. They spray painted them orange because that made it safe. Having them in the middle of the field, as long as they were orange, you knew what you were hitting when you landed on it.
Right. No, I did Lindenwood, men and women.
Nice.
Yeah.
And now you're just name dropping.
Gary?
That's better than skiing the white ribbon of death.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. Especially on new
here's the
ski.
thing is, Lindenwood can be a challenge to referee. There ain't no challenge like refereeing the Bombers
Uh,
versus anybody.
I still got a little angry when you even said the word, Gary.
Sorry. See, instead of seeing your picture, I'm just seeing that triggered lady off the internet now.
You want to see him really get triggered? Slater shook my hand on 2 weeks ago.
Is that because he ripped it off and then shook the dirt off it and tried to reattach it?
I couldn't
You
believe
know
it.
what?
He actually thanked us.
You know what I
Right,
love
John?
about, you know what I love about that guy? Is
Nothing.
watching it with his daughter. I'm hoping it's his daughter before the game.
Oh my
We are
God.
recording. We are recording. We are recording.
The good father, like the just all around great father guy. Like watching that before a match just cracked me up the other day.
That's good on him. I couldn't believe it. It was like a different guy, right, John?
Oh,
Yeah, totally. I was warning Chris, like Slater's on the field, just so you know, Slater's on the field.
Not a problem.
we have an understanding now, but yeah, it's the long list of people that are a little different when they're on the pitch than when they're off, right? Like watching, I mean, him and Scott Green are like best friends. So,
Scott used to play there, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when I billeted him, he told me I need to give Slater a red card.
Couldn't believe it. It was nice as it could be. It was great.
Yeah, you just gotta watch for the demon, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, it's like 5 after. We have 19 people on. It's average, I suppose. So just get going. Unless people know there's a pile up on I-25, people trying to log in. I don't know. I doubt it though, right? All right, here comes number 20. All right. So after all these months, I'm gonna ask the screen sharing, right? You can see that. The agenda's up.
Yep.
Thanks, thumbs up, John. Thanks, Joe. All right. So again, welcome. Some new, we got some, because Bull got started with introducing himself from North Carolina previously and acclimating to Colorado over the last however many months or years you've been here. Any other first time or new to this meeting on the call here? It's hard for me to see who's on the call, and who's on the what's on the screen. So anyone else want to just unmute and say hey, introduce themselves if you're first time joiner?
I actually don't see anybody else.
Okay. Cool.
Lucas is new. Gus, Bull, Charlie Jones is coming back, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty new, but I was there on one of the previous meeting back in maybe that was May, I think.
Yeah, you're old school now, man. I was looking for like green.
Oh, I see.
Hey everyone, it's Gus here. Very happy to be here.
Welcome.
Awesome. Welcome, Gus. All right. So I guess I'll just kind of go from there. So our AGM is coming up in December. That's when it usually is. So it's again the first Monday. So unless I missed some other test match or something else that's going to materialize, and some other major rugby event that's going to cause December 6th to not work out, that's going to be the AGM. The executive committee did talk about it, discussed it, talked to other folks, and decided to keep it virtual. We just thought that would be help increase participation. There are people who still need to stay away from crowds for all kinds of reasons, and no reason to make anyone feel bad for being coming or not coming. And the technical challenges of actually having a successful AGM and live, we decided to have that virtual. So we'll do a virtual event on, again, Monday, December 6th. So if there are any proposals, ideas for change, thoughts, things you'd like to amend, bylaw changes, what have you, please submit those and we'll prepare those for the AGM to be voted on. Also, open executive committee positions. So there are three positions on the exec committee that are voted upon by the members. That's the chair, which is currently myself, operations director, which is currently Dan Hatchup. Screen probably says Dan or Gilligan. I can't see which, or Gil. And recruitment retention, which is currently held by Rick Goldhammer. And then we have some appointed positions. So Ryan Haggerty is our community referee development officer, and Chris Huff has stepped up to be our web, help with the web stuff. So there are also several other open positions still on the committee that, so these members would attend meetings, help with the decisions, kind of help the society move along. When it comes down to, brass tacks and voting, it's those three folks who are voted on by the body that typically make those decisions. Although when we have a large exec committee, we all tend to rely on the whole body there. So there's that. So after some discussion with the group, the three positions, chair, operations, and recruitment retention, all those three positions are open. The current members are not planning on standing for election again. So we're, look, as a good executive, we would love to find replacements for ourselves and people who are willing to serve and be able to present those to you, put them forward. So in the next month, we will continue to work on that. But those positions are open, just so everyone's aware here. And then of course the recording for anyone who is watching later. That's all I have here. And Dan did not have any update other than to say, and Dan, please chime in if I get this wrong. Looks like the group is on schedule to make a couple $1,000s in profit this year. Things are looking good there. And the other thing mentioned that I've forgotten already. So if I've forgotten something critical, please chime in there, Dan.
Yeah, we are happy to send out coaches for anyone who needs one. I sent out the note to the wider distribution list and ended up having 3 people ask for coaches, Lucas, Niku, and Mike Lawrence. So if there are any Americans who would like coaching as well, we're happy to do that. You do not have to have an accent to get coaching. So just to let you know. And then the other thing, the survey, a lot of folks responded, which is always really nice. A wide variety of comments that were in there, some of which are what prompted that series of how does stuff work emails, because I guess after doing it for, off and on for something like 15 to 20 years, a lot of that is just stuff I assumed. And yeah, hopefully those were helpful to folks. If there are other questions about how things work or what needs to be done, let me know. I am happy to answer them.
Is it true that Gilligan is not allowed to quit as Ruggerfest boss and chef?
That is 100% a decision for whoever the incoming crew is. And if you are intimidated by the idea of having to do everything, I am more than happy to help you figure out what needs to be done, how to do it. The real heavy lifting in operations would be the assignments. With Ref up and running and ticking over pretty well, a lot of that work has been alleviated. It's gone now. So there's just a lot of stuff that has to be done that's, day in and day out work to keep an organization running, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, we are a nonprofit business for all with volunteers, run by volunteers. So there are some, just things that have to get done day to day, annual tax returns and reporting, those kinds of things, which, are fairly straightforward. And again, Gilligan will help walk you through those things. And there's other folks certainly in this group who have done that before. So as in the chat, there's someone asked about who's running Ref Up. Well, Ref Up runs itself. So the teams put in their bids for the referee, and referees and coaches go in and bid on those assignments. So that's the running itself part, Jim, to answer your question. So currently the other operational duties, Dan is still doing those. So there's still the reminder emails and calling out to people. Obviously rugby's kind of winding down a little bit for the winter here, but that's what's happening right now with Ref Up. It runs itself for the most part. That being said, I know that the Ref Up itself as a software is being updated and changed, and we've gotten requests from some of our customers to make some changes, and so we've done some things, or Ref Up has done some things for us to make that smoother. But again, it runs itself for the most part.
I would also, sorry, to kind of also help out Jim's position as the recruitment and retention RDOs are all helping with the match leveling, and so it was Ryan and Rick and whoever the HP RDO is now. They would set the levels of what referees could referee at what levels, and also do maybe some of the coaching and match leveling themselves, like kind of working hand in hand with at the time Dan was the in charge of coaching, so he would help set who was at what grade or at what match level, so they can referee at a certain level.
Thanks.
So those are meant to work hand in hand.
Thanks for that clarification, Mark. All right. I think next up really is stuff from Rick. So Rick, I'll let you kind of go and let me know what you need me to queue up here for you when you get to that point.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we just had our level 1. I guess it's been 2 weeks now, maybe 3. We ended up with 11 people, which was actually really good. I'd say the vast majority intend to do some sort of refereeing, which was really nice. Nice mix of older, bitter people and some real young blood. So it'll be a good mix out there on the pitch. The instruction team of Karen Fong Donahue and Khalil was excellent, in my opinion. I actually proctored the event. So it was really good. It was fun to watch. And I mean, yeah, if you get a chance to request who does your level 2, if you have one coming up, then I would ask for those too, because they were very good. Let's do the referee level rollout, Paul, if you don't mind. And I can try sharing my screen if you want. If you want to do that.
Go ahead and try. I just stopped, so you should go ahead and try.
Okay.
Hang on, let me just fix something. Okay, now you should be able to go.
There we go. We good?
Yep.
Awesome. So we talked about this, I think 2 meetings ago, but now we are officially, this is the law of the land. The committee that was working on this has done a ton of work, and
Blow it up.
ooh, it is blowing up on my screen. What are we trying to do?
Keep going then. You can just email it. Thanks.
No good?
Keep going, bud. You just email it later. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so you'll get a link to this. So can everybody not see it at all, or should I just stop talking?
Up at the top there, Rick, there's under the printer and the view, 75% on the left-hand side, next to the big view only button. You can click that thing, I think, make it bigger there.
You want it bigger?
Thank you.
Yeah?
Perfect.
You can't find your glasses, Chris?
It's in the chat.
Thank you.
Sure, we've been doing this for 2 years now.
I don't, thankfully. That part of my life I've done right. I've actually done way less Zoom during this whole problem. Hey, so apparently the link's in the chat. We'll also send it in an email afterwards. This is a living document. So we are currently using basically the real document that the committee's working on. At some point, the next group might want to bring it in and make their own version of it, I guess. But since it's kind of getting updated, our feeling was let's just use what they're using. So I'll go through it real quick, but this is hard, right? Like we as a group, Mark Nelson, me, a bunch of people have sat down and tried to like make this before for Rocky Mountain. It's very hard to put onto paper and make it readable. So although it does, when you first click on it and start looking through it, it seems a little overwhelming. This is by far the best iteration that I've ever seen. And actually Mark Nelson was, I think, very involved with developing this. So just looking at level 10, I mean, starting out, if you don't know, the people that just like Bull had just started, just did the level 1 referee class, we put you in at a level 10. That's where you start, and then it goes up to level 6, and after that, you're in the national scene. So if you just look at level 10 here real quick, like scrum setup, they just got, I mean, it's real basic, right? Although it's amazing how often us upper level referees don't get this right, but and I'll leave it to you to go through everything, but just look, they have scrum all broken down, what you're supposed to be doing on each command. Very good. So, hey, you want to be a level 9, right? So you come here and they're not even talking about scrum that much. There's a little bit up here, they're talking about looking at the 5 meters, come over to triggers, defense is probably going to be offsides. Seems obvious, but again, I've been watching a lot of rugby here lately, the last 3-4 weeks of our people, and it's amazing how many times we're looking at the offense, at a set piece. It's like, well, they're probably not going to be offsides, so it's just good to stop and read it sometimes. Again, just to go through it quick, you go back to level 8, we got scrum again, but it's a little bit more interesting, right? Like they're talking about slingshots. This is something, even in the MLR, you'll see them not catch this pretty often. It just looks wrong, right? So then, say you're level 8 and you want to be a level 7. Hey, how come I'm not seeing those sweet men's D2 games? Hey, this is what you should be looking at. Anybody have any questions straight off from that?
Rick, I think if you go to the tab 2, it's a little less inundating.
Yeah, I kind of skipped over that, but yeah, so Mark's saying, like, if you go, I mean, introduction, they do a good job of explaining everything. Tab 2 here kind of breaks it down like in a much more, like, this is what you should be thinking about. They have this is kind of the old grading system, if you're more familiar with that. Kind of what it loosely correlates to now, although we've been on the level system for a while now, but and then obviously they start drilling down like each one. The only other thing I'll mention is, and this is a little different, and people like Gary, this is going to blow their mind, but so kind of before this, the idea was you need to have everything there is for a level 8, everything that's listed here down pat before you're a level 8. And that is no longer how it works. It's kind of the opposite. So if you have everything down for level 9 here, in theory, you are now a level 8. Did you follow on that? So if you are a level 9, sorry, and we feel that you have done all of this stuff, you are now a level 8. Now, for people that are using the system, that is how it works. Now, does that mean you have everything level 8? Obviously not. But the theory is holding back until you have every single one of these things, and then before you call them a level 8 really isn't that great, because anybody that has everything that's done in level 9 has clearly got a lot of this level 8 stuff down too, right? Probably even 7 or 6. So that's a little different than the old system. Anybody have any questions on that?
So I just want to clarify, just for everyone, Rick, in case some people don't know this yet, but so the levels for referees also then correspond to match levels. So different leagues, different levels of matches have a grade level. So if you are a level 8, you can do level 8 games, level 9 games, level 10 games, but you're not quite ready for level 7 and not going to be able to really do a 6. So that's how, so the matches are leveled, and so are the referees. And this workbook developed for the whole country is trying to do away with the situation where bias amongst regions. People say, oh, those folks in, Boston are just, they're all for themselves. They think everyone's a level 5. Or people in Mexico are never going to get to level 6. Or just pick your part of the country and pick your bias. It existed, and so this is meant to level that amongst the entire country, so that if someone who's maybe moving here from Pennsylvania, they're level 5. When they come in and say I was a level 5, their LRO says they're level 5. We can trust they're level 5. We don't really have to worry about that or be concerned about what's going to happen there. So it's just a way to sort of also make it and also then give these different competencies so everyone knows what the rules are. So here's why you're not at level 8. Here are the competencies in this group that we can work on as your coaching plan, and let's work on that. So that's what they're designed to do. And again, ref up is also based on the levels. So the matches are all leveled, the referees are all leveled, and that's what you're allowed to sign up for.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Mark, do you have anything to add to that? This is kind of your baby.
Well, for those who aren't familiar where all this comes from, these are all the competencies that essentially Richard Every, who was our former HP referee manager and now a current D1A and NERA and ARP referee manager and creator of Advantage Sports Software. And that's the basically the self-review and coaching platform and performance review platform that is granted to everyone who is registered with USA Rugby now. So that kind of lives, those competencies live in that software, and I can put that link in the software. And when you register for USA Rugby, you should have gotten access to it. So if you don't have that, please reach out to Rick.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, so again, if you look, I mean, so now we're up to level 7, right? And you look at scrum management, they're really starting to kind of, it's not quite just, hey, is everybody bound? It's, you know, why is the scrum moving where it's moving and things like that. So I think it's really good. I mean, it's a hard thing to put on paper. I have tried. And again, it's a living document. You can see there's some yellow in different spots. Like I'm assuming that means the committee thinks it needs a little work. But yeah, other than that, this is what we're working off of moving forward. So if you're at 8 wanting to move to 7, I mean, it's worth taking a second to look at what does that mean. So yeah, good.
And for those who asking where is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we are a local referee organization, and basically we only grade out to level 6. Once you are level 6 and wanting to get into level 5, then you will be kind of focused. Your name will given to our regional developmental group, and they will then showcase your abilities to the performance leagues. And then it is kind of up to them to move your career along, and no longer does it result like kind of, is it the local referee organization that promotes you? It would be performance leagues, professional, national appointments, whatever's out there that's not covered by Rocky Mountain Rugby referees.
Yeah, so if you're level 6 and you want to move up, then that's another conversation we can have. But for most of us, this is our world right here. Yeah. Awesome. So the last little part was do a little developmental now that the season's over, but something to think about in the off season. We've been watching a fair amount of rugby, you know, before Aspen and Ruggerfest, and then here lately I've caught quite a few people live and on video, but it got me thinking about some of the best advice I ever got as a referee, and I think it's maybe relevant to some of what I was seeing. So there's 2 really good things, 2.5. There's 2.5 like best things that I was ever told as a young referee. So, but before that, Paul, can you play that video? I think I better from. Oh, suspense.
All right, it's Nigel getting ready to. You see, everyone see Nigel? We good there?
Yeah. The duck lips.
All right, let's hopefully it's enhanced for video. Let's go.
I wish there was a quote book. Good Nigel Owens. This is not soccer. Is that clear? What have a word? Yeah, Cowan sees a bit of a gap, and off he goes. Referee in trouble. Big trouble. Better blow your whistle, sir. He's up. Look at him. Well, he won't be bothered by that. No. Front rows of the 2 captains, please. We will listen to Nigel. We have to.
You're quite right, you do.
You don't like the scrimmage? Or if you don't, you're in the wrong position. I don't think we met before, but I'm a referee on this field, not you. Stick to your job and I will do mine. If I hear you shouting for anything again, I'm going to be penalised for you. This is not soccer. Is that clear? Back and go and get on with the game.
Turn back over. Sam Taylor's brings it to the ring. It's it, Nigel. Good take. With a multiple hit.
That's a free hit, isn't it, Shoney? Has he ever done anything to annoy you? That was the time to get him back.
Possession be your ball. Sorry, boys, the ball goes straight to you.
God, that's choppy.
Hey, Paul, you could probably stop it. I don't think it's working very well. You get the idea anyway. So the reason I wanted to show that was I've always been a huge fan of Nigel Owens. Besides just being a great referee, he seems like he's generally having fun out there. So a couple of thoughts. One, the disclaimer. That is if you watch that video later, we'll send that link out too. That is a professional referee dealing with professional rugby players who are all going to see each other in the next World Cup. So there's a dynamic there that maybe we don't have on a Saturday. So be a little careful, pulling captains over and telling them it's not soccer. But so without further ado, the first thing I was told that really kind of opened these up for me was there's no one way to do this. I was talking to someone, they were very frustrated because they were getting conflicting coaching advice. Can everybody mute if you're not muted? And that was something Derek Summers told me once upon a time when I was frustrated because I got polar opposite coaching advice 2 matches in a row. It's just, there's no one way to do this. So I'm not telling you how to run your show, but just something to think about. Like, you choose your path, you do you, you do me. I'll do me. The second thing was I was working through maybe being a little bit tight, little flanker-ish as a referee, not dealing with dissent very well. I was literally something I was working on. It's written right on my scorecard. There was a game at DU versus somebody. Nobody was having any fun. DU's whining. Everybody's whining. I'm not having fun. And at halftime, my AR, Ray Hernandez, came over and he's like, soft eyes, Rick. And I was like, I didn't even know 100% what that meant, but I was like, I'm calm. Like, it's right here on my card, be calm. Like, I wrote it down. And I don't remember verbatim, but basically what he said was something along the lines of, your body language says calm, but your eyes say you're going to rip somebody's throat out. And I was like, that's probably fair, right? Like, so not to get all like, I don't know, Beatles on this, but like, there's a difference between acting calm and actually being calm. And, you can, again, not to go all, Beatles, but like, there's a difference between acting like you're having fun and smiling and actually having fun and smiling, like Nigel Owens. And I just saw like, it just seems like watching some people, it's unnecessarily tense, little the whole, like finger pointing, finger wagging, when maybe it was time to absorb a little. And again, I'm not saying everybody's got their own levels of acceptance. But, I do expect our people to absorb some of that energy, if you will. I had a captain last weekend who's not on this call, I don't think. Let's just say it rhymes with Mike. But, and he was pretty adamant that he should have gotten a holding on call, and I was pretty darn sure he shouldn't have, but like, and it carried over to the lineout after the other team kicked. And it was like, he wasn't being a jerk about it, but like, like probably not okay. But, I had my own way of kind of diffusing that. But, I would expect us to be able to absorb some of that. It's not a tickling contest. It's 30 people contact sport. So with that said, dissent, like, you're the worst effing ref I've ever seen. That just can't be. Don't even if you're okay with that, don't pass it off to the next person. That has to be dealt with. But so that's my just my soft eyes. Just think about it. Like, you know, it's the best seat in the house, right? I mean, why are we doing this? I mean, it's fun. You're the best seat in the house. Try to enjoy it. Maybe relax a little. Try to have some fun. Soft eyes. So that's it.
Great. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, it's good advice for sure. Absolutely. So I did want to also just kind of give a shout out to everyone who thanks for all your hard work. I mean, thanks for covering all these games. We've had a lot of rugby that happened. We had no rugby for a year, and then everyone wanted to have it all at once, all in the fall. And so, yeah, so thanks for that. Thanks for those who've helped out for the international matches, what we were able to help out with. Mostly was referee managing, which means you get to drive people around and make sure they're cared for and they're at the right spot at the right time. So that's great, very important work. It does sort of reflect on the LRO that we're able to do that. So thanks to those folks who stepped up and did that. And the chat popped up there. Did someone see what that is? Sorry. Any club playoffs this weekend? I know that there was a question asked of Eric, and I haven't seen the answer yet. Dan, have you seen an answer yet?
No, I was actually answering in chat. I asked Eric who was supposed to pay for those and could they get the center bids in, because they are on the schedule. They just do not have bids.
Right. So I guess the answer is we don't know the yet because we haven't got the answer yet. So. Right, on the schedule, but again, we don't know, no details more beyond that, Jim. Just sorry, thanks for that. All right. Sorry, just checking our agenda again. So that's all we have for the planned agenda. Unless people have additional questions, please feel free to unmute and ask your questions or pop them in the chat. I got my screen back so I can watch the chat. Otherwise, the plan is to submit any ideas or plans, thoughts for the AGM, and we'll meet in a month. Almost.
Yeah, those are traditionally due 2 weeks before the meeting. So Monday the 22nd to put your name forward or propositions forward or anything else forward.
Right, thanks for that, Dan, for clarifying that.
For motions and stuff like that, does it have to be in a proper form or anything, or is it just email?
In an email, and it must be written that yes means that you want to change and no means that you do not want to change, because that's how we do it here in Colorado.
No limericks.
If you can do it in limerick form, that is absolutely fine.
Okay.
Rick, I would assume you would be doing iambic pentameter, perhaps. Paul, for your question down there in chat, send me a note at ops@RockyMountainRugbyReferees.com. As soon as you are assigned to a match, I will make sure to assign you a coach if you give me a reminder.
And Angela and or Dale, so the levels, when those are reviewed, that's done by Rick. Do you see the chat question? Do you want to answer that more specifically, how that's done?
Yeah, so I felt like I was already going a little long, but we do have I guess a system kind of going live here at the end of the year. So I guess for anyone who's listening and thinks they need to be looked at, by all means, put your hand up and let us know if you but generally, yeah, we basically go down the list and who did what and who's seen these people referee and what have we heard from people. And it's actually kind of been a live thing. There's been actually a fair amount of movement during this season as things kind of came back to be live. So, but again, if anybody has any specific questions or why am I just an 8, by all means, send them to RDO and we will take a look and you will definitely hear back from us.
I have a question. We get to rate the teams and often add comments, which maybe I neglect to do as much as, maybe I should do more. We collected that in years past and kind of communicated that. Did they have the opportunity to rate us in Ref Up? I can't remember, clubs and whatnot. Is that a function in Ref Up, or do they just send emails, or can't remember?
If only Mr. Ref Up was on this call.
Yeah.
They do have ability, but very few utilize
Maybe as a follow-up then, if we surveyed our customers, much like we surveyed ourselves?
They have been surveyed. I can't tell you the answer to when that was done last, but it was, before the season. We spoke with them, and obviously we had some who, it's hit or miss.
Yeah, just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wondered if we heard any feedback from the league itself. It's always nice to understand what your customers think of you. We're almost more hard on ourselves, right? Usually.
Right. So what the teams are thinking of you as referees, that's what you're saying, Chris.
And us as society writ large. I mean, I am wonderful, as I'm sure we all are. But perception out there, just put that out.
Right.
So we haven't heard anything, is what you're saying?
No, we've heard plenty of things.
Oh.
But so there is some also just live feedback too that we get after this and that happens. And most people don't call to thank you, to say things are going fantastic. They usually call and say, here's what you've done wrong and here's how you need to fix it. So we've had more of those throughout the season, which is okay. That's fine.
Constructive.
There have been some constructive conversations that have come out of those. Some sort of just where's it's going to go in the ether, and some just we can't do that kinds of answers. So it's come back and forth. But so that the exec committee has received communication from all those who would claim to be our customer.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right. 80-20, right? If people are satisfied, they really pull over and tell you you've done a good job. And some felt like they've been done dirty, then they just want to tell somebody about it, right? A lot of therapy going on, I imagine, in those.
Right. Yeah. I think that some coaches have taken the time to talk to individual referees and say thank you and tell them what they really liked about what happened in that match. That happens. That's great. I don't know that we always, again, to Steve's point, we don't always see those in comments. Which, just how it is. One more field to fill out.
Yeah.
Just doing the minimum to get by. So.
Hey, this is JR. Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
So I coach Weld rugby, and from what I've heard, sometimes is the coaches are reluctant to submit reviews, thinking that it might come back to bite them in the ass later on. So maybe it's a way to really reach out to the clubs and the coaches and say, you know what, we're in this for you, and as long as they're civil as to about the submitting a report, then they got to feel comfortable to do that. So just a little FYI.
Yeah, that's a great point, JR. Actually, I think, and the other thing is that we tend to rely on the league and the league structure for that communication down to and of course, every time you take that and disseminate it down a step, it's going to get lost in translation. So, while it is tough to communicate to every single team and every single league, your point well taken, JR. You're right. It would sometimes make a difference to hear it directly from us that there's absolutely no consequence, and we'd love to hear it, good or bad.
Yeah, eliminate that level and then go directly, I think would be helpful.
Yeah, I will say one thing, however, it's tough. I have looked for contacts from teams on Rugby Colorado, for example, and it's sometimes tough to get them. And each league has its own pluses and minuses about how well it actually gives coaches information, the availability to even contact a coach. So we'll have to work through that too. But yeah, that's on us to work through that.
It's tough for us too to get information. So you're not the only one.
Right. Jim, are you waving your hand for a question?
No, well, I was going to say that when I go out and watch a ref, I almost always go to the two coaches before the game and tell them I'm there. And if they want to say anything, I'll talk to them afterwards. Then I go to them afterwards and say, what do you think of the ref? On the record or off? And I take that into consideration when I'm talking to the ref. And if there's something I think is significant, I have passed that on to the RDO or the executive committee.
Right.
That's a nice standard. Is that's part of the just the coaching structure in general? That's a good.
That's how I was taught how to coach. So I'm saying, I'm going to say yes, that's what happens is that you do that just as a part of your stick, like a referee, make sure they got their whistle and their card and everything. The coach shows up and they make sure they talk to the coaches, introduce themselves, explain why they're there and what they're doing there and how they're there to help.
Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to take us down a rabbit hole. Thanks.
No, it's okay. All right. Thanks for the additional comments. That's great stuff. Anything else? Real quick, just from the RDO standpoint, really good work this season, people. I mean, it was tough coming back online, and we had extra rugby, and I mean, it was a bit of a battle at times, and I was really overall, I'm very pleased with what I've seen and the advancements some people have made. It's good to see everybody doing their thing again.
I do have a question eventually. When we submit a report, we're able to grade the team that we refed. Are they able to grade us too? Do they get a word to say about the referee?
They do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not able to see that feedback?
We typically run a report every year, and it's up to the executive committee to share that feedback with the referees.
Yeah,
just
okay.
make sure it's what's the word I'm thinking of? Constructive.
Okay, cool.
All right. Anything else?
Well, since Romain Pouet just retired, I guess there is a spot open for a new French referee.
You got to be bad.
It does help that the World Rugby referee manager is also French. So if you know Joel, sure, drop him a WhatsApp and say, hey, you taking applications?
Well, I've met him a few times back in the days, but I don't think he would remember me.
Don't tell yourself.
So just this is our chance to kind of make our voices heard for the EC. So if there is something that you guys want to add or change, or something you like, something you didn't like, this is a great time to submit a proposal to the EC. I recommend everyone kind of take a look at what we've done last year and how can we grow and continue to develop and change. I personally want to thank Paul and Dan and Rick for their tremendous hard work. Couldn't have done it without you guys. And yeah, I know everyone's busy with jobs and works and families and refereeing, but obviously we're all here on a Monday night because we're passionate about the sport, all 22 of us. And I suggest maybe think about running one of the positions that's opened up and be the change you want in the world.
Yeah, great point, Mark. Thanks. Appreciate that. And thanks to you all the work you've also put in as well on the various committees. All right. So remember, please get your ideas in. As you said, and start looking at the calendar by the 22nd. So that's 2 weeks from today. So that we can put them together and make sure they make sense. Any yes vote, no vote format and what have you, and get them out to the group for the AGM. So it should be a business meeting. So we're not going down rabbit holes on every issue. We just would have had it presented yes or no, take a vote and move along. And that's usually a happier AGM. So with that,
one last call out. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll see you next month. And please feel free to reach out, ops, the exec committee. So it's exec, EXEC, OPS at our URL. And there we go. We'll send out the recording of this meeting link tonight as well after the meeting. All right. Great. Great evening. Thank you for being here, everybody. See you in a month.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.